It's very normal to connect an external storage device to your computer, like an external hard drive or a USB memory stick. Almost everything that you know about File Explorer works when you're accessing files on an external drive. But let's talk about a few details. I'm going to start by connecting a USB memory stick to this computer. When you connect an external drive to your computer, you'll hear this sound, and you should see a notification like this pop up on the screen. If this is not the first time you've connected an external device to your computer, and if you've already gone through this process, you might not see this notification. But since this is the first time I'm connecting this external device, I do see this notification, and we can talk about what you can do here. So this is asking me to choose what happens when I connect a removable drive. So I'm going to click on this notification, and it'll give me some options. So when you connect an external hard drive or USB memory stick, do you want to automatically configure it for a backup? Do you want to configure your storage settings? Or do you just want to open it up to view the files on that drive? Or you can choose Take No Action. Now, what I prefer to do is one of these last two options. And you want to think, when I connect an external hard drive, do I want a File Explorer window to pop up automatically? If you do, then choose Open Folder to view files. But if you want to be able to just connect a device and let it sit there until you're ready to do something with it, then you should choose Take No Action. Now, once I make this choice will be applied anytime I connect a USB memory stick in the future. So I'm going to choose Take No Action. So now when I connect a memory stick, nothing will happen. But if I open up File Explorer and take a look over on the sidebar, I now see this new drive. It's called Untitled E Drive. And to make this a little bit easier to see, up here where I see this PC, I can click on the arrow next to it to collapse that. So now we can get a better idea of how this is going to look. When you connect an external drive, it's going to show up as a separate item on this list. But when you open up this PC, it'll show up there underneath this PC as well. So you can actually go to it in either location. So I'm just going to choose it right here. And you can see I have a bunch of folders on here. And these folders are just pictures. I can open them up and I can see some pictures there. So let's talk about one more thing that works a little bit differently when you're working on an external drive, like a USB memory stick or an external hard drive. Let's say I wanted to move or copy these files over to my pictures folder. And actually, it'll be easier if I just move these entire folders. So I'm going to go ahead and expand this PC so I can see my pictures folder. And all I really want to do is drag these folders over there. So I'm going to choose the Florence folder and I'm going to drag it to pictures. But I do want you to notice it says Copy to Pictures. If you followed along in the previous movie, you saw that the default action is usually move. So when I drag one folder to another, it will move that folder. Or if I drag files to another folder, it will move. When you drag files or folders from one drive to a location on a completely different drive, the default action will be to copy. So since I'm dragging these from the USB memory stick to my internal hard drive, the default action is to copy. And that makes perfect sense. Usually you don't want to remove them from the original external drive when you're copying to your computer. So if I drop this here, it'll copy that folder. So now I have the Florence folder in my pictures folder. But here on my E drive, I still have it there. And that's pretty much it. Everything else that you would do as far as renaming files, moving files, creating new folders is going to behave exactly the same on an external drive. Now, one last thing, when you're finished with your external drive, if you go down to the system tray in the taskbar and you click on the arrow to show hidden icons, there's an option here for safely removing hardware. When you're ready to remove this external hard drive or USB memory stick, you can come here, click on this button, choose the item that you want to eject, click on that, and now it says it's safe to remove hardware. So now I can unplug that memory stick. But it's worth noting that that's not absolutely necessary. I'm going to connect this USB drive again. And now it's connected, of course. I can go into File Explorer. I can see it's listed there. It does not ask me that initial question. But when I'm finished with this drive, you don't actually have to go here and safely eject it. That's something that was built into Windows 8 and now Windows 10. As long as you're not in the middle of copying files, and as long as you don't have any files currently open from this external drive, you can just disconnect it. Just go ahead and unplug it. But if you want to play it extra safe, you can always go down to the taskbar, go into the hidden icons, and choose eject before you unplug your device. And with that, everything else that you would do as far as moving files around from an external drive is going to work the same as moving files around anywhere else on your computer. And that should get you started working with an external drive like a USB memory stick or an external hard drive.